Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Stefan's detained, Holly acknowledges, Xander attempts to establish his truthfulness, and Johnny assists Chanel at work. Jada is keen to establish that she is single, Everett is mesmerized by Marlena, and Harris and Ava share a passionate moment. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives for March 25th to 29th, the next 2 weeks. Have you watched the season-long advertising trailer for Days? We've dissected it and offered some analysis. A gallery featuring the Day of Days cast is also included. When Holly eventually admits the truth about when she overdosed, it left everyone in disbelief. EJ observes as Eric makes an effort to assist Nicole. Teresa and Tate have an open discussion on relationship issues. When Abe and Paulina finally hear back, they find out if she is cancer-free. Xander reviews the evidence gathered against him in an attempt to find a means to demonstrate his innocence. Chad visits Abigail's burial site. As Stephanie tells Julie what's going on with Everett, Julie listens. Marlena induces hypnosis in Everett. When Johnny notices Chanel is having trouble at the bakery, he offers to assist her at work. Ava spends the day lounging in bed with Harris. Rafe is approached by Xander and Sarah with the evidence he has pieced together to support his innocence. Everett tells Stephanie what he witnessed while hypnotized after his appointment with Marlena, but Jada is unconvinced. Tripp observes that trauma has affected Wendy. Harris has a date with Ava. Nicole approaches Holly and informs her of the consequences of her actions. The fact that they can now bring Tate home makes Brady and Teresa very happy. Teresa is asked to move back in with Alex. Paulina and Marlena become closer as they talk about the treatment Marlena will need. Kate promises Lucas he will be set free. Tate is spending the day with Brady, but his thoughts are constantly returning to Holly. Nicole isn't going to back down from the penalty she assigned Holly. Eric gives Stephanie some pointers about forgiving others. Jada is in a desperate attempt to convince Rafe that she is no longer wed to either Everett or Bobby. Arriving at the Spectator, Everett brings news of Stefan's imprisonment for Chad and Leo. John sees only one path to forgiveness as Kristen and Alex put on a show for Brady and Teresa. After Alex declined Teresa's proposal, Kristen tells Alex in the square that they should reconsider their strategy. Brady, he reminds her, laughed in her face when she suggested they get back together. Thus, he is not at blame. Teresa is moving into Brady's place and out of his, maybe. Kristen tells them to step up their game as they joke about. She realizes how to accomplish this when she spots Brady and Teresa across the square. Sarah recommends that Maggie watch Victoria again so they may spend another night together after Xander puts her to bed at home. In order to avoid seeing their daughter in Constantine's arms once more, Xander passes away. Although Sarah isn't the biggest fan of Constantine either, he has been incredibly supportive of Maggie. Xander argues that he is exploiting her. All Sarah has observed about Constantine is that he brings her mother joy. Xander reluctantly acknowledges having witnessed that as well. John is told by Constantine that he is forgiven at the Kyriakis mansion. John can't accept it, even if it means a lot to him. He's going to Greece to arrange for a thorough inquiry into Katharina's murder by the authorities. That's going to be his road to reconciliation. John understands that this is the proper thing to do, even though Marlena proposes they give it some thought for a day or two. He can't turn himself in for a murder he may or may not have committed, according to Steve. Brady watches Alex and Teresa sitting comfortably at a table while they worry about Tate in the square. As Kristen gives Alex a passionate kiss, they gape. Kristen purrs that they're dating now, and Alex appears at ease when they interrupt. Brady maintains that he doesn't give a damn, while Teresa stews. He leaves after wishing Alex well. Kristen kisses Alex on the lips and then follows Brady into discussing Rachel. Teresa, who is by herself with Alex, snaps at him for dating Kristen after their recent breakup. Alex clarifies that he made the decision to move on after she rejected his calls and texts. Teresa brings up Kristen's transgressions, such as taking Teresa's unborn kid out of her body and getting herself pregnant, to Alex. Alex sneers, "Nobody's perfect," pointing out that Teresa is also fallible. Teresa responds that although Kristen lacks morality, she regrets the things she has done. Sincerely, Teresa worries about him. Alex is eager to see where things go with Kristen, so he advises her to move on. Brady is caught up by Kristen in front of the pub. She asks if he's offended that she's seeing Alex, despite his attempts to brush her off. Not even remotely. Given that Alex is all Kristen might desire in a long-term partner and that he would be Rachel's step-parent, she believes he will be more interested. Brady spins around. Is she trying to win Rachel over to Alex? They haven't met yet, but they might at any moment. John claims at the mansion that he is the only person implicated in the murder. Steve responds that nobody witnessed him pull the trigger. Maggie speaks up. She liked Victor very much, but what he did to John and Steve was horrible. Both he and John have changed since then. She begs him not to waste his life away on a mistake he could not have prevented. John sheds tears. Xander doesn't waver in his mistrust of Constantine at the apartment. Sarah begs him to show him some compassion because they both understand what it's like to lose a daughter. Not just Mickey, but Victoria as well. Xander yells that Victoria was taken by the Greek mafia as a result of Constantine. Sarah reminds him that Constantine was the one who came to her aid. She sobs and says she wouldn't be able to live without Victoria. Sarah tells of Xander's redemption after he reassures her. Perhaps he ought to provide Constantine an opportunity to follow suit. Refusing, Xander promises, once he's clear of the false murder accusations, to demonstrate that Constantine is only after Maggie's money. Sarah queries what's going on with that. Xander hopes Harris clears his name and recalls who shot him. What happens if he doesn't? Xander is going to uncover his framer. He'll take care of it for Victoria and them. Constantine announces in the Kiriakis' living room that John is clearly not the man who killed his daughter. It's time for Constantine to get over his resentment and desire for retribution. Particularly now that he's discovered a life with a lot more to offer. He gives Maggie a tender glance and wraps his arm over her. Katharina was taken away from Constantine due to his careless actions with Victor, but neither he nor John are that man anymore. Remain away from Greece. Return home. John consents to try getting over it. Alex suggests that he and Kristen have already shared a bed in the square. When Kristen rips up his life, a visibly distraught Teresa warns him not to come crawling back to her. She stalks out. A big smile appears on Alex's face. Brady snarls in front of the pub, telling Rachel that since he is her father, she just needs him as a father figure. He's making an effort to get closer to Rachel, but Kristen is standing in the way. Kristen concedes that she might be right and proposes that they arrange a playdate. Brady complains that they'll arrange something and walks off. When Alex phones Kristen, they catch each other up on the plan's implementation. Maggie apologizes on Victor's behalf to Constantine at the estate. Reconciling the man she loved in his last years with the man Victor was makes her cry. She questions Constantine's presentation of himself as Victor's close friend, nevertheless, given that it is evident that the two were fierce rivals. According to Constantine, they matured and gained wisdom, and his adversary turned friend. It brought him to her, and for that he is grateful to God. At home, a dejected John tells Marlena and Steve that accepting responsibility for his actions is the only thing that will bring him peace of mind.